Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because, well, we're going to unpack something completely life-changing. If you're a focused learner looking to totally overhaul how you manage your money by 2026, you are in exactly the right place. We're taking the incredibly complex, often overwhelming world of personal finance and distilling it down into 7 clear, actionable pillars of lasting financial freedom. All right, let's just dive right into it.
So what if becoming financially successful isn't always about earning more money? I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive, right? Society literally beats it into our heads that the only path to wealth is a massive salary. But we're going to challenge that income myth right off the bat today. Because the honest truth, the raw amount of cash you make is only half the equation. It is exactly what you do with that money once it hits your bank account that dictates your entire financial future.
Just picture this stark contrast. On one hand, you've got someone pulling in a modest, say, $1,000 a month, but they're steadily building real wealth. And on the other hand, you've got someone raking in $10,000 a month, yet they are completely flat broke. How on earth is that possible? Well, it's because raw income, without discipline, is basically a leaky bucket. You can pour as much water in as you want, but if there's no bottom, it just all drains out. Today, we're unpacking the exact rules that separate the wealth builder from the broke spender. And hey, I want you to pay special attention here because the 7th rule we covered today, it's the one most people completely ignore, to their own massive detriment.
Here is our transformation journey for today. We're going to cover 4 phases. Phase 1, the mindset shift. Phase 2, the core mechanics. Phase 3, the growth engine. And finally, Phase 4, the future you.
Starting right off with Phase 1, the mindset shift. In short, stop trying to look rich.
Let's tackle our second rule of money here. Look, social media creates this massive trap. It tells us success equals the newest phone, designer clothes, flashy restaurants, or a car that stretches your budget to the absolute breaking point. But honestly, buying all that stuff just to project an image is actively destroying your ability to become truly wealthy. Real wealth is actually kind of invisible. It's money sitting quietly in the bank, it's investments, it's assets, and most importantly, it is financial freedom. It's the peace of mind of knowing you don't have to panic over a medical bill or a sudden car repair. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is this: do not sacrifice your future freedom just to impress a bunch of strangers today.
Moving right along to Phase 2, the core mechanics, where we look at the actual formulas for wealth.
Now that we've got that mindset shift locked in, we're shifting gears from the philosophy of money to the exact mechanics of how money works and how you can actually capture it. And this brings us to rule number 1, pay yourself first. Let's compare 2 formulas here. Most people follow a really flawed approach, right? Income comes in, they pay all their expenses, and whatever happens to be left over, well, that gets saved. The problem is, human nature dictates there is rarely anything left over. Now, look at the wealthy formula. Income comes in, and immediately you route a percentage to savings and investments. Then, you live on the rest. Even if it's literally just 10%, the very second your paycheck hits, you move it. You do not become wealthy by saving what's left over. You become wealthy by making saving your absolute top priority.
But wait, here's where we hit rule number 3. Simply saving your money in a traditional, run-of-the-mill checking account just isn't going to cut it anymore. Why? Because inflation constantly reduces the purchasing power of your money over time. Think of it as a silent tax. If you just leave your hard-earned cash sitting under a mattress or in a zero-interest account, it's quietly being eaten away year after year.
So to actually beat inflation, you have to make your money work for you by putting it into assets. I'm talking about diversified funds, stocks, bonds, or other investments that actually match your specific risk tolerance and goals. The real secret here, it isn't trying to magically time the market or hunt down some crazy get-rich-quick scheme. No way. The true key is starting responsibly and putting your money into these vehicles consistently.
Which perfectly sets up Phase 3, the growth engine. This is all about increasing your value.
Okay, so now that we've secured the defense, it's time to pivot from just protecting what we have to playing some smart financial offense. We want to actively increase the amount of money flowing into that wealthy formula we literally just talked about. So rule 4 is to increase your financial skills. Mastering high-value fields, things like AI, sales, programming, digital marketing, video editing, copywriting, data analysis. Doing this dramatically increases your income potential. Here is a massive truth most people completely miss. Your biggest financial asset isn't your bank account right now. Actually, scratch that. It's your ability to earn. The more valuable problems you can solve for businesses or clients, well, the more valuable you become in the marketplace. But hey, Playing financial offense also means dodging some critical traps, which brings us to rule number 5. Debt can be a really powerful tool, sure, but high-interest consumer debt, that is a devastating trap. It grows incredibly fast, and while you're paying massive interest to someone else, your money is quite literally unable to work for your own goals. So I want you to ask yourself one absolutely critical question before you ever take on debt again. Will this help me build something valuable, or am I simply buying something I can't currently afford? Slow down. Really ask yourself that question. It will save you years, maybe even decades of financial stress.
And that brings us to our final phase, Phase 4, the future you, where execution is everything.
This is where we shift our focus to the actual practical and even emotional steps needed to start building your future today. Because, let's be honest, information is great, but execution is the whole shebang. Rule 6 is super simple. Start before you're ready. You do not need to wait until you're rich to act. You don't need 100 grand sitting around to begin. You just need a plan with 3 simple steps. 1. Build a small emergency fund. 2. Track your spending and cut back on the unnecessary stuff. And 3. Invest according to your goals. It really is that straightforward. Small financial decisions, when you repeat them for years, become shockingly powerful. You just have to take that first step.
And that leads us to the emotional climax of our explainer today, Rule 7, protect your future self. I want you to imagine waking up exactly 5 years from today. You could be on Path A, zero emergency savings, drowning in high-interest debt, and holding basically no high-value financial skills. Or you can wake up on Path B, totally cushioned by savings and investments, fueled by multiple income sources, and absolutely armed with high-value skills. You have to understand this. Every single time you spend money today, you're making a decision for that future version of yourself. Are you going to spend everything today? Or are you willing to sacrifice just a little bit right now so your future self has actual freedom and real options?
I want to leave you with one final thought here. Wealth isn't usually created by one giant lottery-winning decision. It's created by thousands of small decisions repeated over time. You don't need to become rich overnight. You just need to become financially disciplined. Earn more, spend intentionally, save consistently, invest responsibly, and avoid that bad debt. So I'll leave you with this. Are you going to keep working only for money? Or are you finally going to make your money work for you?